Hello there, everybody. My name is Michael, and let's continue this little playthrough of Dark Souls 2, continuing through Brume Tower. And now that we have the Scorching Iron Scepter, we have a bunch of places to go through. But the first one that I think we should go down is down over here to get an item I missed earlier in the foyer, because I completely forgot about it. I don't think it's a terribly important item, but it is somewhere around here, I think, unless I'm completely losing my mind. Ah, maybe I already picked it up. Alrighty, well, I think the first area that we want to go to is... There it is, it was right next to me the whole time. And just a spell quartz ring plus 3. Again, the quartz rings are not terribly useful, so don't worry about them. First place I think we want to go to is down. That will lead us to a place where I think we need to go. Let's see here. Although maybe we will just unlock the bonfire for down here. For the moment. And this door is locked right now. We can't go in there. Let's pop down here. I think this is where we need to go to get that key, but I like this. I actually like forgetting exactly where I had to go. Yeah, this is where we need to go. Okay, by the way, I'm going to point out that I do have a Lion Warrior cape on. The chest piece that you get from the Lion Warriors in the Shaded Woods, and this took me freaking forever to farm this. I actually despawned all but 2 of the lions, and I had to go and get the Fragrant Branch of Yore on the extraneous lion that leads to the Black Knight Halberd. That's how long it took to farm. It was ridiculous. Can't believe that. But anyway, there are going to be some of these barrel hollows over here. And just past that, there's going to be some of those giant armored enemies with the huge clubs hidden somehow underneath all this. I don't know how. Got very lucky there. And again, you see, I really have trouble timing their swings, because it's such a huge club. I'm expecting it to take quite a while, but it does not. I also really dislike the fact that your, who's-a-ma-watch-it, the enemies are so big, they cause you to kind of, whoa! One of the barrel holes must have exploded and it went through the wall. It's freaking bullcrap. But anyway, I don't like how when you're walking near them, your movement speed is reduced because their steps are so huge. But it doesn't make any sense because it only happens for the first couple of times. The rest of the time, it's totally normal. You know, like now, it's not doing that. So why does it do that when you first get up there? It's just to try to smash you down and make you vulnerable for that first opening hit. We need a key, but the key is way at the end there, and I think there are 2... Oh, fuck me. Almost fell off there because I forgot that I did not have that damn... Well, I think I'm just over... Oh, well, wait a minute. If I'm exactly at 70, it's okay. What I meant to do was this. The key is over there, but I think there are 2 more of those giant guys over here. And there's also plenty of upgrade material over here, too. Twinkling Titanite, very nice. Charcoal pine resin. You probably could just run over there and grab the key, but I do want to make sure to get all of the upgrade material. I also don't want to fall off next to this guy. And you see that mace up here, there? It's sort of like a gigantic flanged mace. But you can't get that, and that's obviously the cooler one of the 2. But this one they decide that you can't get? It's crazy. By the way, the titanic mass of molten iron, essentially, that the other guys swing at you, you can get as the drop. Tower key. But I think it costs 70 strength to one-hand that. So, unless you're going to continually two-hand it, which is not unreasonable in Dark Souls 2, that is crazy, and you even need an enormous amount of a Herculean amount of strength just to use that. 2 Titanite chunks, very nice. Just to use that item two-handed. So, okay, we have anything else here? I thought there might have been more of them, but again, my memory is clouded by the fact that I usually played through this area in New Game Plus. In fact, I went through this area many, many times in different characters, but only once before this on regular game. So now that we have that key, we can open this door on the other side of this. And see what is down there. Okay. I don't think we're going to be fighting the boss, but I've said that many times before in this playthrough and been totally wrong, and we did, but... So, I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. It takes a little while to get to the boss, though. We're definitely not going to be fighting that stupid smelter boss. And yeah, I'll reveal to you now, the troll boss in this area is actually just the smelter demon, but colored blue, and with magic damage, rather than fire. So yeah, that's a big, big fail. Probably even, I mean, I'm trying to decide, but probably even worse than the gank boss in Sunken Crown. Because that was pretty bad too, but this is almost certainly worse. And this is the area that you go to get to the smelter demon, but we're not going to be going down there. That's a whole big production getting down there, and it's not really worth it. You don't. Another problem with the troll bosses is that you don't get a reward for them. That's part of the trolling. You actually, or you get virtually no reward. Like for the gank boss in Sunken Crown, you get, I think, 3 pieces of Twinkling, 3 pieces of Petrified Dragon Bone. So that's kind of nice. Or you get some kind of upgrade material. I don't know what it was, but it's okay. But it's not really commensurate with the agony of what you go through to get it. And you also get another dress. Yeah, that's wonderful. You have to drop off on multiple different places up here, so probably going to go in for a couple of different rides. There's also a spear that you can get in this area. I don't remember where exactly. Called the Pilgrim's Spontoon. And the Spontoon is a historical polearm. I do not fuck. God damn this jumping. But anyway, the Spontoon is a historical polearm, and I'm not exactly sure what the characteristics were. I know it was sort of a later weapon, I think, in the early modern age. May have been shorter than a pike. I'm not sure about that. They just sort of randomly came up with a name, I think. And Spontoon does have a kind of a funny name to it. I like it. Alrighty. Down in here that we can get to now, that's an area we don't really want to go back into because it really is just useful for getting the Nadalia Bride of Ash weapon. It doesn't really have anything to do with the 2 regular bosses in the area. It's just for getting the Bride of Ash, which is not terribly useful. We'll start on the top. And here is that impossible to get, freaking impossible to get hidden door. On this side, you can't even see it, but we'll see it when we go down there, but on this side of the elevator, and we have to go all the way down to the bottom, and we can go in there and get the Hollow Mask, I believe it's called. It's sort of a weird looking thing. It's sort of good if you're kind of running like a sort of a horror kind of build. Hollow Skin, ew. Feels like something Ed Gein would wear of an evening. There it is. And I guess it just gives you the face of a hollow. So if you want to cosplay as like a zombie or something, can you even see the brain? I think you can see the brain on one part of it. So that's kind of creepy and unpleasant. What does it do? Easier to detect messages from other worlds? Would you even care about those messages, honestly? I mean, I like to see the messages, but I just like to see they're there because I like to know that other people are playing the game. It sort of feels like, you're not alone out there. But they're not really... I mean, there's plenty anyway. There's not really a point to that. It's really just if you want to look like a zombie. Can we go in here yet or no? Oh, we can. Okay. But what is this way? And what is that way? I think that way is the exit from going this way. I'm not sure. I'm getting kind of confused now. Oh dear. Are we where I think we are? Okay, I think I'm pretty sure I know where we are. We are near a rather obnoxious and unpleasant invader called Pursuers. And that's Pursuers with a plural. And he's not related to the Pursuer from the Iron Keep and Forest of Fallen Giants, as far as I know. The Pursuer's boss is actually one guy, the samurai sorcerer from the Belfry Soul in the Iron Keep. Except there's like 6 of the guy, and it's like him and his clones invade you. And they have those katanas, and they're very good with them, and good armor, and they have bows, so you can't really run by them, because you have to run up a stair. And they can, they have a nadalia statue in there, so we're going to run in, try to get the nadalia statue, then I guess try to fight these guys. I'm putting on the Covetous Gold Serpent Ring because they can drop the Berserker armor. And this is a better way to farm it than the agonizing way to do it in Belfry Soul. But let's see if we can get this nadalia statue. Come on. Do it, do it, do it. Go, go, go. I think we have some frames. I mean, yeah, he's trying to backstab me there. You little prick. You cheeky little bastard. Come here. Come here. Invading me with your little clones. You disgust me, sir. Come on. Now, if we defeat these guys and get the bonfire up here, it will actually lead to the final boss fight of the area with Suralan, the samurai warrior. However, we have to defeat the first boss in order to access it, unfortunately. And I think you may need the Ashen Mist Heart. Maybe. Because it's technically something you need to access this kind of area, but I'm not sure about that. If we live through here, well, I don't know if that's really possible exactly, because, there's so many of them. Ooh, it did knock him down, though. That's nice. And they've got those damn bows. They think of everything. Can we hit both of them? No, we cannot. Cannot hit both of them. Maybe we can get the bonfire, though. I think you can get the bonfire. So that's something. And we can just go back here and maybe farm them a lot easier. I don't really care about getting the Berserker armor, so if I don't get it, I don't care. But if you care about getting it, and I strongly suggest that you do, because it looks awesome, then you would have to come back over here. Now, we can't actually rest at this bonfire, because, of course, we are being invaded. So, we're pretty much stuck with this fight for now. Oh, Lord. Damn those bows. I don't think they have bows in the Belfry Soul. They gave them that for this. Ooh, I could have finished them off with a follow-up, I think. Usually drop their armor a little more regularly than this. Kind of disappointed at that. Leading them around in a merry chase like this is making it a lot easier. Come on. Their headpiece there is based on that of the Skull Knight from Berserk, and it looks really badass. I think that's what it's based on. But I wore it so much. Oh, they can flask, too. Have you no shame, designers of Dark Souls 2? Have you no shame? They can flask. You disgust me. I didn't get a single drop. That really stinks. I'm really mad at that. When I first came here, I got like, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them. But I was a New Game Plus, and now that I think about it, maybe does that have something to do with it? If you're a New Game Plus, will it not, will it give you tons of stuff that normally you wouldn't? That sounds unlikely to me, but... The Lion Warrior cape here, which I like, it's alright. I wish I could just get a regular full cape, you know, like you could in Dragon's Dogma, but never mind. It actually gives me some resistance to falling damage, which is kind of nice. Although not a significant amount, it's still kind of nice. Maybe it is because it's New Game Plus that I get in here. And this next area will lead us to, I think, 3 or 4 remaining smelter wedges. That's not all of it that we need, but there's some of them. And I think... I'm trying to remember how many of them. I think there are the axe-wielding knights that we fought and the possessed armors that we fought, too. And they're sort of hiding in those alcoves there. But there's plenty of places to explode and things to blow up, so I'm happy. You can just blow up the stuff that you can see in the corner in each section, just hoping. Just to make sure that something's not in there, waiting for you. Yeah, there we go. Lacerating knives. What did they do to bleed damage in this game? Bleed damage, if you only played Dark Souls 2, you don't really know anything about bleed damage, because that was so different in that game and so much better. Because, you know, you can just get this enormous amount of damage off on someone with just a couple of hits with a fairly small weapon, and it gave a Dex character who had a weaker weapon kind of an edge over a stronger one, which is kind of nice. I believe you can get a helmet, by the way, that is actually like a bull's head. It's like getting the helmet of a minotaur, except they kind of screwed it up, because it's not an especially large helmet, so it doesn't quite look right. It looks a little bit too tiny. You know, it's like the regular size of a human head, not the actual size maybe of an ox head or a bull's head that you might want to get. And so it looks a bit off, and I don't care for that. Ugh. He's hit me again. And some people had the idea of taking the red eye ring. I don't think I mentioned no, maybe I did mention the red eye ring. I don't remember. It's not really something all that important, especially if you're newer to the game. I have to give these guys this much health. The next area down to the boss is actually... We find out that the boss of this area is a knight named Rame. And Rame, or the Rebel Rame, as I prefer to call him, because it's sexier, because that rebel word is in there, was a knight of the king who left the kingdom under mysterious circumstances, and we're not really quite certain why that happened. Apparently he went to Brume Tower for something or other. And his armor is absolutely really, really cool. It's like charcoal gray armor. And his shield is about the same color, which actually we haven't gotten. That might be the way I want to end this episode, by getting his armor. This is probably the place you want to come if you want to farm that sword, but I've been terribly unlucky the past couple of days with farming stuff. I don't know what happens. Just go through an unlucky streak or something. Oh. Got an live one here. I'm especially fond of wearing this kilt now because I just got finished watching, almost finished watching The Highlander. One of my favorite action movies. And even though I'm not using a katana, I still like to wear the kilt. You should have a variety of kilts in this game. Something I would like to see in one of the Souls games is 4 smelter wedges, excellent. Is the ability to sort of color your armor the way you like it. Like if you go to just a screen or a thing in the bonfire, you can change the color of the armor that you're wearing. I think that would be a really neat way to make your armor more unique and personal. I think it would look really cool that way. And that room over there. That room over there. There is one of the giant lump of iron wielding guys through this door. And there is a Nadalia statue. I think I can kind of hear him stamping in there. I hope he can't attack through the door somehow, like glitch through it. But there's a Bride of Nadalia statue in there, and you have to, and it's actually through another door. And this is a very tight, cramped space. So you have to find a way to lure him over here towards this door, this area roughly, and then run around, open the door fast enough, and use the smelter wedge. It's very tricky. I don't promise I'm going to live through this. And you can kind of see it there, which door it's in. It's the one with all of the fire coming out of it, of course. Oh, Lord, I don't care for you. I mean, I guess you can kill him even with that in the room, but it provides like a warmth spell, that healing pyromancy. And I think if you die after opening the door but not using the smelter wedge, if you come back, the door is probably going to be closed, so it's not like you did much. Okay, we may die here anyway, but, oh, Lord. I completely screwed up on my... Oh! Ah! I am so fucking mad right now. So fucking... I'm gonna keep calm. I'm gonna be relaxed, because I'm doing the commentary, but that was fucking horseshit. I was trying to press yellow to, you know, bring my shield out, but it was fucking impossible. Fucking impossible, because that goddamn motherfucking cocksucking bloodstain was there, and it kept going back. See here where it says touch your bloodstain? If you have two things you can do in the same area, and you can press Y to change them. That's fucking angering. Jeez, they shouldn't allow bloodstains to show up near something you can fucking use. Ah, Jesus Christ. Ugh, it makes me mad. Something that you have to learn in the Souls games, and I meant to give this little lecture much, much earlier in the playthrough, but something you have to learn in the Souls games is to favor incremental progress. You have to learn to, and this is a good life lesson in general, to be happy and be comfortable with gaining some progress and some success, not getting everything all at once, and just being happy. You know, like we went down there and we got the tower key, we went up there and we died on our way back, but that's okay, because it's not that big of a deal. And here, we did defeat the Nadalia statue, so, you know, it's going to be less of a fight when we come in here. We're going to try to kill that guy before we go through the other doors. So, I mean, getting that, you know, getting piece by piece by piece is something important that you learn from the Souls games, because it's good to know in life, you know, not to expect, you know, perfection right away. Can I get this through the door? I can, that's nice. Yeah, the door would definitely be closed. I managed to do it right on the first roll, but you have to roll early to avoid this guy. There's no other way to do it. You have to roll before you think you should roll. Which is really obnoxious. Thank the Lord. Alrighty. And I don't remember what's in here, but there's a lot of good upgrade items in here. But that incremental progress, especially in Dark Souls 1 and Demon Souls, where it's more about unlocking a path through the labyrinth of the level, that's very, very important to learn, especially in Tower of Latria and Valley of Defilement. Because if you just very slowly, painstakingly make your way through it, you'll eventually get there. And that's just a great life lesson, and a great lesson for the game. There's a secret behind them boxes. Yep, try to hide on me. Titanite slab and 3 chunks. Very nice. I like to see that. I think the Bride of Nadalia's soul is... Yeah, Bride of Nadalia. I mean, Bride of Ash. Nadalia supposedly used some kind of seductive dancing wiles to seduce the Iron King, but that seems a bit peculiar. 10 Titanite shards, that's impressive. And a petrified something. And a broadsword plus 7, that's kind of random. I don't tend to use the broadsword or the regular longsword because they don't quite look as good. I mean, they're good weapons, but they don't really look as nice as I'd like. Light ahead? Is it torches? Or maybe there's nothing down here. Or maybe it's just the sunlight out there. Of course, they have to have a hit or miss one. They have to have a troll one where there is absolutely nothing there. Okay. And I think that I am going to use my feather to go back, and we're going to pick up the shield of the Rebel Brume. But that means that we have to go all the way back to the Forest of Fallen Giants. I was doing another playthrough on another character recently, and I was playing on Bonfire level 4, I believe. So, yeah, Bonfire level 4. I was getting invaded all the time there. And I was like level 225, and I'm getting invaded left and right, you know? It's almost like they reward you for, you know, for over-leveling. Back in Dark Souls 1, the accepted level limit, I think, was 150. I think that was it. You know, it was a standard level 150, although I saw 125 as well, depending on the when I was looking. But 125, 150, that was a solid place to go, because you can get, I think, 40 endurance and 40 vitality, and either 40 intelligence or faith or strength or dexterity or whatever have you, whatever you were getting, and, you know, you would be fine. Oh my lord. Oh, lordy, lordy. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry about that. I completely forgot about this. I forgot to get the key. I thought I did, but I must have forgotten, because I was running around this whole place. But it does give me a chance to talk about a couple of things I missed when I first came through this area. We're going back to the Iron Keep, where, of course, the Rebel Ram shield is. But anyway, keeping it about at that level, that was fine. That was the right level to be at. You were not over-leveled, you were not overpowered, you could not be an incredible mage and an incredible strength character and an incredible, you know, dex character, you know. You can be essentially anything you want to be in this game. And you have to have limits. I like that Dark Souls, the Souls games in general, allow you to mix and match what you want to be. They don't force you into a class role, like in Dungeons and Dragons, or say Dragon's Dogma, or Dragon Age Inquisition. But I would prefer there to be some limits. There have to be some healthy boundaries to keep things good. I didn't mention this when I first came in here because it's pointless, but if you take a look over there, there is an item on top of these lava rocks. You can go get it, but it's only a human effigy, and essentially useless, so don't bother with it. There's also another item way out here that sometimes I do get. That is a bonfire ascetic. And when I'm trying to farm some items from New Game Plus, most especially the Hide Knight set, this is kind of good to go get, because sometimes you need multiple ones to get it. And we can actually pick up the Rebel Ram's armor from Magarold of Lanafir, and also Sir Alon's armor. And that was originally covered in fire, but after we turned that off near Igel's idol, it went away. Lord knows what this is doing, how we were supposed to... I don't even think there's any clue at all that this is supposed to be... We're supposed to use this in the Forest of Fallen Giants, because I had totally forgotten about that unlocked door. You know, that was tens of hours before. Does it say anything on the key? Where's the iron key? Opens the iron door of the Iron Keep. Key to the iron door of the Iron Keep. The old Iron King castle sunk into a lake of fire weighed down by the castle's iron. Iron stripped from the castle. The iron door to... Wait a minute, darn it. I didn't think that would go away if I... the iron door 2 must be somewhere far away. Okay, so it does tell you it's not in the Iron Keep. But aren't there plenty of doors that look like they're made of iron? I can't... I mean, there must be more doors that look like they're made of iron like that. Are you really supposed to be able to tell that? Let me take a look here. I will examine this little door here. The sea of lava. It doesn't even make sense that we could live next to this much lava. You know, our shoes would melt if you got even close to this. There can't be anything unique about that door that could potentially lead you there. I mean, I guess on the farthest limits of what I'm thinking, maybe you could say that the fact that there are fire salamanders down here and things with fire, that you would think, oh, fire, Iron Keep, and maybe that's what the people who made the guide thought, but I don't know, that seems pretty damn obscure. Now, the actual Rebel Ram shield is a tower shield, like this. Unfortunately, it has very peculiar stats. It only resists 70% physical damage, which is kind of pathetic. However, it resists 90% all of the other things, fire, lightning, dark, and magic. I think all of the other ones. So, it could in theory be a pretty darn good shield if you're fighting it against somebody who's using spells, because almost all of the damage would go away. But still, these salamander guys are tricksy. You have to hit them below, otherwise it will not count. Ooh, they can breathe fire too. Oh, he's still breathing fire. Is everybody looking forward to the flamethrower we're apparently going to be getting in Bloodborne? That looks pretty awesome. I love it. It's kind of like a makeshift flamethrower. You know, we can just run to get this item, which we very well might. This is actually right near where we got the fire longsword early on in the area. If this was just things that are fighting one at a time, I might come and do this, but since it's two at a time and that has that ranged attack, I mean, Jesus. That's pretty crazy. You can come down the other way, where you have to drop down from the top, and I may just show that to you. How did I die there at the end? It's almost like... Did the heat linger there for a second? It's almost like it was making up its mind about me, whether I was going to live or not. But I'll show you the other way down, although it's not, again, not really all that useful. And apparently the fire that we see streaking upwards from down there is actually created by the creatures themselves. That actually doesn't exist without them being there, and if we kill them all, we will get rid of it. Oh, God. Gotta do this first. There we go. Okay. Now, where is the silver cat ring? I hope I can fall down here correctly. Another obnoxious platforming element in Dark Souls 2. You have to jump down and land right on the top of that wreckage there, but not on the other side, because that's death. And not over there, because I think even with the cat ring, I don't think we can fall down all that way. I think we have to land here, and then deliberately go over here. And here we can pick up the Hawk Ring. The Hawk Ring, I think I mentioned this in another level, it's not that useful. It's not a tremendously valuable item. Ugh. Again, it almost killed me like at the last second there. Like I was almost dead, but the fire then killed me a little bit. I hate fighting those guys, so I'm not even going to go bother down there. I mean, they're just obnoxious, and there's no effing reason to do it. There's no point to going down there, so I will not. And after I go back to Majula, I'm going to show you the shield of the Rebel Ram. It does look exceptional. Down there, I think there was a fire drake stone, so if you want to infuse something with fire, I guess you can go down there, but unless you want to do that really early, before you get to Seldora, Brightstone Cove, Seldora, then, I mean, if you're really eager to do it, and I swear that they changed that, because I remember those guys as not having the range that they did, and you were able to cheese them with arrows, but I think it's been a long time since I've been down there, but I think they changed that in a patch or something, because I remember being able to safely walk down by where the Hawk Ring was and have everything be pretty much okay. Well, I got ready to cheese them with range. Oh, it's 85 dark, but that's still very high. This obviously is one of the coolest looking shields in the game. It just, I mean, the black and the gray. I love black and white movies. This does look incredible. It is a raven. So, was the raven what Velka used, or was it a crow? Or if it's some sort of corvidae animal, does it not really matter? Well, whatever it was, that was sort of related, I think, in a way, to the Velka, a boss in... No, not a boss. What am I saying? Velka, one of the gods. One of the most mysterious and interesting gods in Dark Souls 1. So maybe there's a relationship between Raim and Velka, I don't know. But whatever it is, I'm going to call this an episode. Praise the sun.